You guys ready? Coach Young, whenever you're ready, we'll just have you give us your feelings about the game.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not entirely sure what happened at the end there. I think Eli shot the ball before the buzzer went off, which is not something we're about. So if that is the case, I apologize to Wes and their group. That's we try to operate in a classier manner than that. So apologies there. Now in terms of the game, I thought the biggest difference was just the defensive rebounding. That's all we talked about at halftime. They had 10-0 boards in the first half. They only had 3 in the second, which allowed us to get out and hold them to one shot. And that's how you go 52-29 in the second half, by just rebounding. So that was my main takeaway.
What changed in that second half? You felt like the effort from the guys?
I think they were more cognizant of it. I mean, it's pretty much. We showed clips at halftime, and that was basically all we showed at halftime was how they were getting their offensive rebounds. So I think our guys were dialed into it more. I just thought we found a way a little bit more to rebound.
You've been talking about the shooting and how you think it's a good shooting team, and tonight it kind of proved you right. Were you expecting a breakout performance like this at some point?
I think we had a little bit of one in Colorado. Now it's 2 games in a row where we're very capable of hitting a lot of threes. We've got a lot of shooting. I think our spacing is pretty good, and we're figuring each other out too. I think we're playing with a little bit more half-court movement. I think we're making guys chase us a little bit more. So we've gone away from just pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. We've added a little bit more movement, which I think has helped kind of get guys off of us and give guys a little bit more space to get shots off.
What was the plan coming into this game to find a way to get 3-point looks, because the Cincinnati defense had a good defended 3?
Kind of what it really is a three-pronged approach. Our pace since I can't remember when we really doubled down, tripled down on our pace, but to get good threes against a team like that, you got to play in transition, which you can't do if you don't rebound. So we did do that, and then just some of the reads in pick and roll, trying to point certain things out where we felt like we could get threes there. And then, like I said, the half-court movement, and the screening. Those are really the points of emphasis.
Cannon got a nice ovation from the fans tonight. How important do you think this game and that moment was for him?
Very. Yeah, I thought, and the reason why is because I thought he had his best, practice in a long time that he had yesterday. And so for him to lock in practice, even though things haven't been going his way, and then to come out and be rewarded with a good performance. I think it speaks to work. There's no substitute for that, and he has not shied away from work. He stayed the course, which gave me more confidence, to do a better job of putting him in position to get some of those threes. Some of those were some set plays, but I just thought his overall aggression, and he just looked more comfortable out there, and to hear it from the crowd, especially that many people, is a good feeling.
Did you expect them to shoot that many threes?
We wanted to force them to beat us from the outside. They're a team that lives in the paint. And so that was part of the game plan. And when I say that, I don't mean we're not disrespecting guys, but we're trying to force contested threes and keep them out of the paint, off the line. They only shot 4 free throws, so we did a good job of not fouling. Even though they got a lot of threes, I felt like they took a lot of long twos as well. So game plan-wise, I thought we did a good job there.
Coming from your coaching tree, a lot about .5 basketball's been preached, right? So how has your team kind of bought into that? It seems like they've kind of figured that out over the last 2 games.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's been received extremely well. I think guys are seeing and reaping the benefits from playing that way. I think Richie's a prime example of that. Obviously, he gets his shot off so quick, but just those quick rip and goes, it's just hard. It's hard to stay in front of that. I think Yegor's figuring it out. I think Downs figuring it out. Even Trev, is getting run off the line. He's putting it on the deck. So I do think the message is, getting across there.
Is there a pressure that was taken off of this team after winning that first road game earlier in the week in Colorado that maybe kind of alleviated them a little bit this game?
I just think winning. I just think, we needed to win. We needed to play well, which we have. I don't and this is what I told the guys, when we had that 3-game, stretch where we came up short. you lose by a possession doesn't mean you played bad. You know, we played good. We just didn't play good enough to win. And so, like, the sky wasn't falling. I thought our guys never got too down, honestly. And our guys, probably the thing I loved the most about this group, honestly, is just the way they approach every day. You know, we rarely have a bad day. So that gives me confidence and lets me know that they're jiving with what we're doing, and they have confidence in what we're doing. They believe in themselves. But it's a lot easier to get that belief when you win. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I do think it was a galvanizing moment to get that win. And mainly because of the way we got that win, you know? Like, we had to come back from down 10, come back from down 10, even tonight. It's a close game at halftime. And so I think we're building on a lot of the things that we're doing.
When Dawson has as efficient of a night as he did tonight, what does that do for this team when he's on like he was tonight?
I mean, honestly, I think he's always on. He wakes up thinking no one can guard him, and that's why I love him. You know, I hope my kids have that swagger, honestly. And so I love that about him. You know, he's been a guy who has been extremely efficient. So what it does for our team, I think it takes a little pressure off, you know, that kind of first unit. And to that point, I do think our guys and our team, me and our staff, I think we're starting to just get a little bit more comfortable with sort of how we're subbing the group. I've talked about that a lot. You know, I don't think people outside of the people who are really thinking that through understand how difficult that is to get groupings right, and it takes time. And so I think we're kind of getting a little rhythm there, and he's been a big part of that.
How important is it for him to be able to hit those intermediate shots? It's kind of a unique skill on this team.
It is. And so I had a discussion with him a week or so ago. Like, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but we want rim and three. You know, I think my analytics guy hits me all the time. I don't know where we currently rank, but at one point in time, we were the best team in all of Power 5 of shooting rim and three. And so we don't want those pull-up twos. They don't go in. He's a guy where they do go in. And so, you know, going back to my history, I mean, I've coached 3 of the best mid-range shooters the game's ever seen in the NBA, and we never told Chris Book or KD to not shoot long twos. You know, it wouldn't be smart. So with Dawson, I pulled him aside and said, hey, I know we're really highlighting the rim and three, but when teams play this drop coverage like we see these guys do tonight, he's a guy who can make that shot at a high clip, and I think it adds another, you know, weapon to our assault offensively.
Can you see the confidence growing in the team that they execute the offense and get the finish more frequently?
Say that again?
Well, you talked about executing.
Yeah.
And then maybe not finishing the play.
Right,
Now
right.
they're executing and finishing
Yes.
the play. Can you see the confidence growing in them when they do that?
I can, yeah, I absolutely can. I mean, and obviously it's easier on a night like tonight when the ball goes in as much as it does. I mean, look, you guys have all covered this game forever, and I've coached it forever. Like, make shots, right? That's what it's all about. And I know that sounds so simple, but everything's easier when you make shots, and even confidence is easier in terms of what we're doing. But, you know, our guys have done a good job of executing, and I do think that helps their confidence for sure.
Do you feel like this was Jaguar's best game in conference play thus far?
I don't know. I mean, I thought he was really good in Colorado. You know, it's like everyone, and we're all, you know, how do you judge him? He had 15 points, so that was his best game. For me, it was his efficiency. You know, he goes 6 of 7 from the line, 3 of 5 from the field. So I think for him and for any player, you strive for efficiency. You talked about Dawson. I mean, you know, Dawson's super efficient. Richie's super efficient. So that's what we strive for, and that's where the kind of the shot diet sort of comes back into the equation. Like, we want to be an efficient basketball team. That's how you win. And so, you know, a lot of our guys are kind of finding their way there.
Any other questions?
All right, appreciate you guys.